Welcome to Restoring Men in History. Fantastic one today. Batman Begins. It's one of my favorite all-time films. My favorite Batman film of all time and favorite superhero film. And we're going to give you 12 reasons why I love it, why it's my favorite. Number one, it starts with a great story and screenplay. And you don't have that in all movies. This one has it. David Goyer and Christopher Nolan did a phenomenal job with a magnificent story with characters that you like, with a great mentor and more. And a boy that's scared because of the bats, and then he sees his parents killed in front of him, and what happens? You have a choice in life, right? When you imagine seeing your parents gunned down. What are you going to do with that as a boy? Are you going to go into your shell or come out of it and do something great? And Bruce Wayne has that choice. And which choice does he make? We're going to get into, does he find a purpose? Does he find what he's looking for? He goes out looking for it. And I like in this story screenplay how Christopher Nolan went for the darker side, maybe not quite as dark as Frank Miller Year One, Batman, but he went darker, he went realistic, and he wanted this film to be more realistic, not comical, not goofy like those other Batman films. So that's one of the reasons that I love it. The tone was serious. Number two, great journey, training, and mentor. There he meets this great character, my favorite adversary for Batman, Ra's al Ghul. Incredible character that Christopher Nolan wanted. He picked for this film because, again, he's enigmatic, he's highly intelligent, and he's a cool one, not goofy or clownish. That's why Christopher Nolan wanted this villain. He's Bruce Wayne's mentor in this film, and there's a bond that forms between them. This is a dynamic that's very interesting because later the relationship will change, which is interesting. And they both lost someone they loved. That bonds them. And they both want to go after evil and bad guys, but in different ways. They have different solutions. Now, earlier in the film, Bruce Wayne wanted to take vengeance on the guy that killed his parents, and he brought a gun to the court. Ra's al Ghul wants to destroy evil, but again in a different way. They're both also purpose-driven, mission-driven. Liam Neeson gives an incredible performance and plays it more like a mentor rather than a villain. He doesn't play it like a villain. He has a mission, a purpose. He wants to strike out at evil as well. In his mind, he believes that's the way to do it, and he's right. Ra's al Ghul. If you like this subject, please subscribe, like, and comment. What's your favorite Batman villain? What's your favorite Batman scene in this movie? So, Ra's al Ghul trains him in the ways of what? Ninja, jiu-jitsu. He trains him on watching your surroundings, stealth, distractions. He's teaching Bruce what? Not just to have brawn and physical prowess, but to use your mind, tactics, strategy, planning, mission, as well as jiu-jitsu and the combat. And when I was watching this film, even though I trained in 2 martial arts, I wanted to be out there with the ninja training, right? I wanted to go there for 2 years. I remember I was watching, I was like, I want to do that for 2 years, full-time, nothing else, right? Because when I did martial arts, I was doing other things. But these guys were out there training full-time all day long. That's appealing, right? That's attractive because you want to build skills. You want to do combat. So he's teaching psychological warfare using the mind. And he also wants Bruce to deal with his fears. Ra's al Ghul knows Bruce must master his fears and be able to make others fear him. Be more than a man. What's the quote? You must become more than just a man in the mind of your opponent. Great quote by Ra's al Ghul. The guy is fantastic. I love this guy, Ra's al Ghul. So he has to earn it, right? Bruce Wayne has to earn this. He doesn't have superpowers, which I like. I've always liked Batman, because he has to train hard like men have to do. They have to earn it, right? You have to work very hard to build skills as a man. And Batman here is building skills, and that's what you have to do in life as a man. You have to build great skills. He's learning jiu-jitsu, but he's learned to use his mind, and he's learning the ways of the ninja. So cool. He's being trained for the League of Shadows. Some people call it the League of Assassins. It's not just handed to him. He doesn't just wake up one morning and he's full of greatness and fighting skills. He has to work toward it. And guess what the good thing is? You can do that. If you want to learn jiu-jitsu, you can train in it. I trained in jiu-jitsu. If you want to go to the gym, hit the gym, I just went to go to the gym yesterday. You can go to the gym and build muscle. I've lifted weights my whole life. So you can do that. You can build skills if you want. You can build muscle. I'll probably go tonight. So Batman, his character is human. And the training sequences, some of the best training sequences, out on the ice with swords, that is so fantastic. Christopher Nolan shoots it well. And there's that scene where Ra's al Ghul is teaching him. And he says, watch your surroundings. And he plops down. Bruce Wayne thinks he has him. This good stuff because they're both using their minds. And Ra's al Ghul is using his mind to defeat Bruce Wayne there and teach him. So number 3, you get to see what? Bruce Wayne. You get to see his fears. You get to see him as a man. He bleeds. He's flesh and blood. You see him in relationships in the past, and Christopher Nolan does a good job with this. He is kind of one of the few people who can pull this off of timelines. And you get a feel for Bruce Wayne when he was young, in the middle, and older. With Rachel, his good friend, Rachel Dawes, and then with Alfred, which gives you insight into what Bruce Wayne is. Not just about Batman. You're learning about Bruce Wayne, the man, which is fantastic. The film centers on this. His life, his relationships, how these relationships impact and form him in life. See him with his parents earlier, what his dad teaches him. Alfred is positive and builds him up. Wouldn't you like to have a guy like Alfred with you and in your side and in your corner? When Batman says, I failed, later in the film, and he believes he's failed, Alfred says, what do we do when we fall? And Alfred says, we learn to pick ourselves up again. And this is a life lesson that is enormous, right? Because we're going to fail sometimes. So the question is, are we going to pick ourselves back up again and get going like Batman and keep going? Do you have a friend like Alfred that when you're down and lost will say, you can do this? What do? Pick yourself up and get going. Whatever your name is out there, you can get going. So pick yourself up and get going. That's what we do. That's what men do. So when he needed somebody, he had that relationship. So you need to work on good friendships who will edify you, build you up, and be there for you. And again, that's something you can choose to build relationships like that. Rachel Dawes, another good relationship, tries to make him better by doing what? Challenging him to be better, saying, you're not making your father proud, make him proud, right? She's challenging him to be better. Number 4, Christian Bale, just fantastic. He's outstanding as Bruce Wayne and Batman, and you get a feel for both of them. And he does just a phenomenal job. Hats off to Christian Bale. You were fantastic in this. 5, action scenes are just outstanding. Not just, again, pure muscle fight scenes. First big action scene is what? It's different, it's unique for movies. You could show Batman just pounding these guys. So it's in that, there's a bunch of guys, I don't know how many, a bunch. And instead of just coming down and fighting them all at once, he's picking them off, but using fear and the symbol, right? Because in the plane, talking to Alfred, he says, hey, we need a symbol. We need to be a symbol. We need to be more than a man. And Ra's al Ghul had taught him you need to be more than a man, right? So he creates this bat. And he swoops down, he's picking up guys and different things, and he strikes fear into them. That's using the League of Shadows techniques, stealth, diversion, all these things, striking fear in your opponent being more than a man. So I love the first fight because he just snatched them off and they're all terrified. And he's striking fear, and then you become a symbol, right? Who's the Batman? What is the Batman? What is this guy? Is he going to get us? What does he do to people, right? They don't know what he's doing. That's fear, right? And that we'll get to that in a second. Also, the fight scenes between Ra's al Ghul and Batman, right? Because Ra's al Ghul has defeated him many times. He's a master fighter, but he's also highly intelligent, brilliant. So in my mind, he's his greatest, also not just mentor, but adversary. My favorite villain, or adversary. So on that train scene, they're not just using their minds. And in his mansion, when Ra's al Ghul defeats him, he's not just using brawn. Even though he's a skilled martial artist in jiu-jitsu and he knows all the ninja techniques, Ra's al Ghul is always using his mind. It's a chess game on that train. Who's going to win? And you know Ra's al Ghul can defeat Batman. He's the guy who trained him, right? So that puts him in jeopardy. You know that. So I love the fight scenes. Christopher Nolan, hats off to you. Great fight scenes. Number 6, fear. Fear from the beginning to the middle to the end is in, and Christopher Nolan does a good job of maintaining this theme through the film. And I love this theme because it is here today, right? We deal with fear all the time. Americans, humans, deal with fear. All over the world, people deal with their fears. And if you can overcome your fears, you have a chance to go very far in life if you can overcome them. Bruce Wayne has to overcome his fear of bats and all this other stuff, right? It's a consistent threat. Scarecrow uses fear with the drug he shoots into people. Ra's al Ghul is going to inject fear with the drug into the whole city. And that is current today. It's as good today as it was then. People deal with all kinds of fears. Fear of public speaking, fear of criticism, fear of failure, fear of success. And if you can get past these, like Bruce Wayne, you can go forward. By the way, he still has them. He has to constantly deal with them, right? He still reflects back on his parents. People don't go for the job they want or go for the dream they want. Fears drive so many decisions, don't they? Fear of public speaking. Napoleon Hill talks about fears in Think and Grow Rich. Fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of death. Deep. One of the reasons this movie is so deep is it's dealing with this issue of fear. So give credit to the director Christopher Nolan and David Goyer. Good, deep, magnificent filmmaking. Hats off to you, Christopher Nolan. Number 7, great adversary. We talked about him as a mentor earlier. Ra's al Ghul, my favorite villain. What adversary I like to call him? He has a plan. Unlike the Joker in Dark Knight, and I love Dark Knight, Joker really doesn't have the plan of Ra's al Ghul, right? He's kind of winging it. Ra's al Ghul has a plan, a mission, tactics, strategy. He's really the mastermind, right? Not Bane, not Joker. Bane's driven by a plan from the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, right? But he, Ra's al Ghul, the reason I like him as an adversary, he's brilliant, uses his mind, strategy, tactics. And he's a master of martial arts. That's why I think he's Batman's best adversary. In fact, he uses the techniques, right? He uses stealth. He uses distraction. He puts someone else that appears to be Ra's al Ghul to Bruce Wayne. And then later, Bruce Wayne thinks he's dead, but he's alive because he has veiled that. So great character. Just incredible character. Number 8, Batman is what? Batman has the virtues. He has the manly virtues, right? He's not just living for himself. And what else does he have? What do we always talk about? He has a purpose, mission, and it's larger than himself. He's not just about himself. He's trying to do good for the city. By the way, he didn't have to do that, right? He's Wayne Enterprise. He could just go run Wayne Enterprise. But he's selfless. He's disciplined. And look at his constant training. He's trying to figure out new ways to use technology. He's searching for technology to aid him to help the city. He's always improving, always training. He's disciplined. He has resilience to keep going, even if he's hurt. He has courage. So he takes initiative, right? He just nobody tells him to go be Batman. He takes the initiative to do it. It's choice. He's willing to risk his life for others. Again, he could have just been a playboy, or he could have just run Wayne Enterprises, or he could have just indulged in the vices instead of the virtues, but he chooses the virtues: courage, resilience, strength, decisiveness, and takes on the manly virtues. And you have a choice in life you can make too, right? It's choice. You can choose to have an impact and make a difference, or not. You can choose to go train in the gym 3 times a week, or not. You can choose to go train in jiu-jitsu if that's what you want to do, or not. You can choose to have a purpose beyond yourself. Bruce had to overcome his fear and still deal with it. And he turned, right, a weakness, that particular fear, into a strength to use against others, which I think is interesting and something you to think about. Turning a weakness into a strength, not using it against each other, people. So, a life lesson: you can turn a weakness into a strength. Number 9. Bruce Wayne's learning all the way through the film. He's adapting. Scarecrow shoots him with the drug. He's scared, and it's a moving scene. This is a fantastic action scene by Christopher Nolan. Hats off again. What does he do? Scarecrow shoots him with the drug. Batman's already dealt with fear in his life. He gets all freaked out. Then Scarecrow lights him up on fire. That's not great. And Batman has to jump out of the building, hurts himself again, crawls back up, shoots back up, and calls Alfred and says, "Help me." A very moving scene. And again, you need relationships and helpers, right? Key is build good relationships. So he put Batman at risk and jeopardy. Another reason why the film is fantastic. Batman was in jeopardy there, and we like to see the heroes in jeopardy and be scared for them. Number 10, great directing, cinematography, editing. The whole thing is well done. Hats off to you, to the crew, and everybody who worked on this film. You guys did a phenomenal job. Number 11, we have mentioned some of the actors along the way, but there's no weak spot. Katie Holmes, very pretty. She works. I'm so sorry she was not in Dark Knight. But in this film, there are no weak performances. Gary Oldman is Gordon, phenomenal. Morgan Freeman is Lucius, awesome. Michael Caine, they had that chemistry going on between Bruce Wayne and Alfred, and he's like family, and he's always there for him, and it's moving, and it's touching. That's his family, and Alfred is always looking out for him. Rutger Hauer, another phenomenal performance. So Katie Holmes, my favorite Rachel Dawes by far. She was just great. I wish she would have been in The Dark Knight. Cillian Murphy, great villain for the Scarecrow. Tom Wilkinson, great as Falcone, and he had some just phenomenal scenes with Scarecrow, and also in the bar with young Bruce Wayne. Great scene. He is so powerful. He plays powerful well. So Tom Wilkinson, great performance. And it could be called Batman Rises because this film, and the last point, number 12, what about this film? In this film, the villains do not steal it from Bruce Wayne and Batman. The film is called Batman Begins, and it's Batman's film. And in many action films and other films, somehow the villain steals the show, not in this one. And Ra's al Ghul is my favorite villain of all, favorite adversary, I should call him. But he doesn't steal it, even though Liam Neeson's incredible and all the actors are so good. Morgan Freeman, he doesn't steal it. This is Batman's film, and the title is Batman Begins, and many films end up with the villains being so featured, like in Dark Knight. That's why I was hoping for more in Dark Knight Rises, that it would be fully Batman's movie in Dark Knight Rises, because Dark Knight, the movie kind of gets stolen by the Joker. And what's a phenomenal, I love that movie. I love Dark Knight. It's a great film. It's a great superhero film. It's a great movie. But again, it's called Dark Knight. But really, Joker kind of stole that movie, right? And then Dark Knight Rises, interesting. We'll talk about that another time. So, cheers to Christopher Nolan. It's a masterpiece film. Everybody that worked on this, David Goyer, all of you, really enjoyed your film. Thank you. You made a masterpiece. If you like this subject, subscribe, like, and comment. What is your favorite scene from this film? Or what is your favorite Batman movie? Or thank you.